again. I'm going to continue lesson number 7. For some reason this video didn't last 8 minutes or 10 minutes. Okay, I was telling you about the passive sounds in Farsi. I'm not sure if I can use passive for them because that's the only way I can explain them. But basically, there are 3 sounds in Farsi that are very important and actually are used in every single word, but they decided that they're not going to write them down. So for people who are not born in Iran, it's going to be difficult to read Farsi. But you can always speak it, but reading it, because they don't write the main sounds that goes around a word. So the 3 sounds are, this is how actually they teach it. They just draw a line, but that doesn't mean anything. They just wanted to say that this is a stress on a sound, so they can, that the stress that goes above a word. So if this line is an imaginary word, the sound, the stress that is not written on like hovering above the word is written like that, and it sounds like ah. And if the stress is under a word, which I mean supposed to be written under a word but now is missing, that is that's how it's written. In Arabic they do write that, and that's very nice of them. And there's another stress which I talked about it before, which is like a comma, but not this big. It should be very delicate looking, very beautiful looking, and very tiny, like an insect. So that's O. Oh, that's how it sounds. So here, for writing the word sar, because you see I say sar, ah, there's that stress in that word, so they write the first alphabet, but for some reason they just ignore this part. And for letter R in Persian alphabet, you have to write it like this. Doesn't have to be like a monkey's tail that long. It can be very nice looking and short. And here, this E in here is called sare. So when I say sare, it's not much of the passive sound of eh. It doesn't have it that long. It's very short, sare. So that's why this has a similar word in Persian alphabet, which is like H. Sare. They can use this shape for it. Basically, this shape is not a circle, it's like actually a drop. And this is equal to letter H, but here doesn't sound like H, but you can use this one as equivalent to the sound E. Now you have to attach these three letters together. As I said before, you have to have a straight line. So here's your straight line, the beginning of a word. And then you have to attach letter R after that. And then the H, or the E sound that's not really long, it's very short. You can just write it here, Sare. I tried to translate the word Sare last video, but I didn't do a very good job, so I'm going to give a couple of examples about the word Sare. Sare kelas. So kelas is similar to the word class, which basically refer to a school, not a social class. They refer to school class. So when they say Sare kelas, they're referring to whatever events had taken place inside that class. So if I attend a class today, and if I want to retell the events that had taken place inside my class session to someone else that wasn't there, I just have to say, oh, by the way, Sare kelas, this happens and that happens. That means that inside the class, or while I was present in the class, or the events that taken place in the time that the class session is running. So that's the good translation for Sare kelas, and usually these two words come hand in hand if they were referred to each other, because I don't think there's any other object that they use Sare with it. They're not gonna say it's just these two words always used together if they were about to be, if someone's trying to retell stories that happened during a class, they're gonna say Sare kelas. So now I'm going to continue with this. How are you going to write kelas in Farsi? K in Farsi is written like this. Like this. But usually they leave it here because this looks prettier. But that's how they write K. And you know how they write E. It's kind of difficult because when they say kelas, I'm using this stress, the passive stress of E. You see? Kelas, ke. So that even though I wrote it once, again you have to ignore it. They're not going to write that for you. And letter L is written like this, like a hook, somewhat. Letter A, kelas, is written like this, and S, as I said, is like this.